Good morning everyone, it's Liz Davis here. I am a nutritionist and I specialise in digestive health for busy women. So I help people with their bloating, IBS symptoms and painful digestion, anything else you've got going on that needs to be brought back into balance. And I do this with state-of-the-art gut testing and supplements, dietary upgrades and lifestyle upgrades to really start to bring everything back into balance for you and get it all ticking over nicely as it should be, and then fixing those other health problems that are often a knock-on effect of this as well. So today I wanted to cover something which is actually really important. So the most important thing really that you can do for your gut health is to be eating as wide a range of fruits and vegetables and as many different colours and as much diversity as you can get in. This is the most singular, most beneficial thing that you can actually do for your gut health. So if you're suffering with anything like that, then you really need to be focusing on this and getting ultimately as much going on as you can. Now, the unfortunate thing is that a lot of our favourite kind of fruits especially are only available over the kind of height of summer. So a lot of, strawberries and other berries and blackberries and all those lovely different vibrant coloured fruits, and also vegetables only have a very short season. So I find this particularly a problem with kids because kids really love those sort of strawberries and other berries as well. They're the one thing that you can really get them to eat, but the season is usually very short-lived if you want, a nice quality juicy fruits and stuff. So surprisingly, they have done lots of studies on frozen fruits and vegetables and have actually found that, believe it or not, they are just as nutritious as fresh, if not more nutritious than fresh. So how on earth can this be? Well, they've studied the whole range. They've studied blueberries, broccoli, carrots, beans, peas, spinach, strawberries, the whole lot of them. And they've all come out to have equal levels of nutrients, if not more nutrients in. And this mainly is because when they're picking the fresh produce, it actually has to last an extremely long time before you actually end up eating it. So it gets harvested, it then ends up in some sort of packing factory, it then goes to the supermarket. Sometimes supermarkets will try and store them there for a long time, particularly at the moment where supply is a bit of an issue. They can be hanging around in the supermarket in cold storage for a long time before you buy them. Once you've bought them, they're then probably in your fridge for several days before you get round to eating them. So that process, that lag between them being picked and you actually eating them, can sometimes go on for really quite a long time. So by the time that, also when they're picked, they tend to pick them when they're slightly underripe, because this then allows them to ripen en route to the supermarket, to the fridge, etc. So it just buys them a bit more time. Where frozen, on the other hand, tend to be picked at the very height of their ripeness. So at the height of their ripeness, they're all also bursting with nutrients. So it's going to be the time when they've got the most vitamins, the most minerals, if that applies, and the most phytonutrients, etc. in them. So that's going to be the height of their nutritional value. They're then picked at that point. So the flavour is also going to be better, and then they are frozen very quickly and they're packaged very quickly, and then they will stay in that heightened state of nutrient value for about 3 months before they start to deteriorate. So the other bonus is that you've then got this lovely supply of frozen fruits and vegetables that you can use anytime. Keep a selection in your fridge or freezer, and you can have access to that year round, which is just perfect, particularly if you like things like they're good for using for smoothies, overnight oats, and you can use your vegetables in soups and all sorts of stews. You wouldn't know the difference really. So I tend to find that frozen vegetables particularly work better in things. You can add frozen spinach to smoothies if you want to, if you tolerate that sort of food. There are episodes where you don't want to be eating too much leafy green vegetables raw, but that's a different issue altogether. But if you do, then frozen spinach, frozen berries, perfect for making smoothies, or you can just add a whole selection of frozen vegetables to curries, soups, stews. You wouldn't know the difference between fresh. I tend not to use frozen vegetables steamed or stir fried because I just don't think it works so much very well. Fresh is better for that. So a few tips then, if you do decide to use frozen. If you use frozen, always look for the best quality you can get. If you can get organic, so much the better. You seem to always be able to get organic frozen peas, but berries, sometimes it can be a bit hit and miss. You may have to go into a health shop or whatever to get those, but you can get them sometimes. The trouble is with berries is they tend to be very highly sprayed because they're very vulnerable to pests, etc. So they will... by and large, it's quite hard to get hold of organic berries anyway, and if you can, they tend to be very expensive, although frozen generally tend to be a bit more cost effective than buying fresh things. As I say, it's best not to keep them forever. They will deteriorate with time, so the rule of thumb would be to keep them for around 3 months, after which point they will start to deteriorate a little bit. And also, while you're looking for your frozen produce and things, don't be tempted to buy them with added sauces or anything like that, because then you're kind of you're going then into the kind of processed food arena. So the frozen sauces are going to have things added like lots and lots of sugar, additives and things, which is particularly if you're suffering with your gut, you want to be avoiding things like that really, and keeping your diet as clean as you can possibly get it. So yeah, one really good way I love to use frozen things is with frozen herbs. So if you buy some frozen herbs for a recipe and you don't get round to using the whole lot, pop them in a freezer bag, pop them in the freezer, and then when you do want to use them again, you can just snap bits off and sprinkle them into your food, which is a really nice, handy thing to do. And you've got a nice selection then of herbs at your disposal that you can use anytime. Okay, so I hope you found that little rundown helpful, and if you would like to speak to me though, then I shall pop a link to my diary in the comments, so you can book yourself into my diary for a free 30-minute chat so I can find out more about you, what you've got going on, and take it from there. Okay, have a great weekend and I shall see you soon. Bye.